Cameroonian authorities have received and discussed with the visiting founding director of the UK-based School of International Futures, SOIF, Mrs. Kat Tully, accompanied by the coordinator of the University of Cologne's Hub for Planetary Wellbeing within the UNESCO Most Bridges Coalition, Dr. Kenneth Sa, popularly known as Dr. Samala, and who doubles as a next-generation foresight practitioner fellow at SOIF. On the sidelines of a two-day pre-summit of the Future National Consultation at the Ministry of External Relations (MINREX), the two international experts held working visits with Cameroonian authorities and other stakeholders. On the 11th of September 2024, they first met with a network of Cameroonian civil society organizations led by Ateki Seta Caxton, director of News Seta. Shortly after the meeting, the delegation met with 4 members of parliament and 2 senators led by Honorable Andrew Quay. They explored how to embed long-term governance and the well-being of future generations into legislative policy making, drawing inspiration from successful examples in places like Wales in the UK, Finland and Kenya. The MPs promised to set up a parliamentary caucus on future generations and sustainability in Cameroon. The next step after the parliamentary meeting was the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, where Minister Monuna Fotso received the delegation, pledging government support for their initiatives on youth and future generations. This significant endorsement solidifies Cameroon's commitment to foresight, future generations, youth, and sustainable development. Minister Monuna Fotso was optimistic about facilitating nationwide youth empowerment initiatives and foresight programs.
You visit the Ministry of Youth here in Yaoundé because what you're doing, the infrastructure of youth consultation, the programs that you're running is of real interest. The Summit of the Future is coming up, and youth voice and considerations of the interests of future generations is a really important thing to include at the summit, given Ambassador Philomene Yang is going to be the chair and the president of the General Assembly and of the whole summit. And it's really important after the summit what the declaration is that is signed and how it's going to be implemented here. And it's finding out exciting insights like the 2 people that I have next to me and the work that they're doing that is extremely inspiring about being here today.
To have accompanied my collaborator, Ms. Kat Tully, with whom we work in the School of International Futures, but also collaborate with the UNESCO Most Bridges Coalition, to have come here to pay a courtesy visit to the Ministry of Youth and Civic Education of my country, Cameroon, and to appreciate the work that is being done here to promote youth in different ways, work that is also being amplified on international scenes, including in the Wales Protocol for Future Generations, that cites Cameroon as one of very few countries in Africa that is doing this wonderful job. So we are also particularly, me in particular, so happy that Ambassador Philomene Yang, His Excellency, is chairing the summit, and Cameroon is showing to the world that we are behind him, we are supporting his mandate, and supporting not just that mandate because it is a historic moment, it is a once-in-a-lifetime summit of the future. We are also so lucky as Le Continent to have our own person presiding over that. So this shows that we are serious about this, but we need to be even more serious about the implementations of the outcomes of the Summit of the Future, because at this level, most of the policy outcomes like the Pact of the Future, the Declaration of Future Generations, the Global Digital Compact have already been finalized in their drafts that are awaiting signature, but all the discussions we've had here and we continue to have with different stakeholders and partners, I'm sure they should help us in implementation so that everyone, everywhere can feel the impact that there is change and that we can live in a world that is flourishing for all generations, present and future.
The British High Commission joined the discussions later in the day, exploring ways in which diplomatic missions can bolster youth empowerment initiatives, sustainable development, and the well-being of future generations as international expertise devises means to work with Cameroon in these domains. The Canadian High Commission joined the discussions on Friday. Still on the 11th of September, after the British High Commission, the delegation met with Mr. Mohamed Ibrahim Abba, County Director for Plan International Cameroon, to discuss youth-led initiatives, especially those in favor of young girls. The Vice President of the Northwest Regional Assembly, Fonyakum Kevin, who doubles as President of the Northwest House of Chiefs, met with the delegation in the presence of other fonds who showed up for the event. Discussions focused on integrating future generations and foresight into regional and traditional governance structures. This grassroots engagement marks a critical step towards nationwide sustainability. This high-level delegation also shared their expertise in a national consultation at MINREX from the 12th to the 13th of September 2024, aimed at preparing Cameroon's position ahead of the UN Summit of the Future and strategies for implementing the outcomes of the summit. It should be noted that Cameroon will preside over the UN Summit of the Future in New York from the 22nd to the 23rd through Ambassador Philemon Yang as the President of the 79th General Assembly.
We must build upon the momentum of the Summit of the Future and inject new vigor into achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the cornerstone of our mission. As we work to safeguard the future of peoples and planet, special attention will be given to least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, and small island developing states, which face unique structural weaknesses that hamper their sustainable development.
In this context, Cameroon's proactive stance on long-term governance, future generations, and sustainable development serves as a model for regional, continental, and international cooperation.